good morning to those in US and Europe. Good morning to and good not good morning. Good evening to those of you in Asia. I'm sorry this might be late, but this today I'm going to do about my spoiler review for Spider-Man No Way Home. If you haven't watched Spider-Man No Way Home, this will be a full spoiler review. If So go and watch my spoiler reviews. And yeah, and I want to say thank you to the internet for trying to spoil Spider-Man. Even before I got see, I need to people who somebody once spoil it for me. And thanks to Tom, Zendaya, and our Jacob for telling us no spoilers, and our friend Jamie Fox saying no spoilers. Remember, no spoilers. So I want to break down to you every spoiler in this movie. And this movie has a lot of spoilers. By the way, of course, in the ending, everybody, well, Toby and Andrew Garfield, Toby Maguire and Andrew Garfield, going to show up. That is true. They did show up. If you watch, you notice they showed up in the movie. And of course, the villains, as they have showed about all the villains in the different villains that be in Spider-Man No Way Home. My favorite was Doc Ock. He had a bit of a good arc here. He was the one with so many more screen time, and I like his revival arc. So it was quite good because the chip that was controlling the arms were right. If you say that thing gone already, what it means is burned. So the arms were controlling him. He was not controlling the arms. So that's what made him bad. So until he got a new, the chip was repaired, he finally gained consciousness and he could control his arms. Okay, that one more screen time, but what I want to say about this movie, spoilers, is that people were telling me that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire were being it. From the very least, from before this movie even came out, the trailer was played, they would Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire be in it? Yes, of course they were in it. And of course they were there for the final fight scene. And of course, I can say anti spoilers. This is a spoiler, being a spoiler review, I'm going to say the person who died was anti his Aunt May. So that's the difference. So yeah. Then well, in his Spider-Man we never Tom Holland Spider-Man we never heard the phrase with great power comes great responsibility. But this was that movie when he said great power. Finally we hear somebody says with great power becomes great responsibility. So the Tom Holland Spider-Man meets the other two Spider-Mans at the roof, and they were telling that, of course, our like Toby will tell him, our Toby Maguire Spider-Man will tell him that he lost. His Uncle Ben, my dad, and Luke Garfield Spider-Man tells him he lost Gwen Stacy. Okay, the MJ. Okay, I just want to let you know the MJ. He mentioned MJ. This MJ is not Mary J. It's Michelle Jones. So now you know what's the full name. Michelle Jones actually. And what you know about this movie, it starts takes place after Spider-Man Far From Home, then Spider-Man No Way Home, and then from Far From Home, not No Way Home, sorry. From Far From Home, the story takes place from there, and then you have No Way Home to follow his journey. Yeah, I can say this movie has certain like the fight scene about was actually very good, but there's twist like you're asking what happened to the you saw in the trailer that our lizard was kicked. Actually, the person who kicked, who you saw when he jumped, he got blown away. Actually, he was kicked in the face by the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man. Then, okay, the fight I can say was awesome. Well, I said if you hear in the no spoiler review, the fight scene was about quite number. But how many minutes you say I forgot. But one thing, the fight scenes we have three Spider-Mans and we have villains from the from different universe. We got Green Goblin and Doc Ock. Doc Ock became good over there after that chip. We could. He was a good person. He was bad. Then he became good again. So the chip already fixed. So there's only one person. There were three from the Toby Maguire was actually three, but one was outsaw and there were two that time. There was Green Goblin and Sandman. From the Andrew Garfield West, there were two. There were Lizard and Electro. Okay, yeah, I like the fight scenes, especially there were some quotes by the Doc Ock pretended to be bad, but actually when he grabbed the two Spider-Man, actually he knew what the suit became good. He knows Tobey Maguire suit. He don't know the Andrew Garfield one. Cause but I like the Andrew Garfield when he saw Tobey Maguire when he said yeah, and he finally sees him. He says you're all grown up. That means reference to between 2004 when he last acted with him and now. That's a very long time period. Then they kill every villain. Like after curing Electro, curing all the after curing Electro and all that, then Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, Peter Parker when he was talking to Max Dillon, aka Electro. Now he's already cured all that. Well, there was a very good conversation. Mm, very good. If I can remember, this conversation was one of my favorite gaming thoughts. He said that he was just a nobody, was just nobody, and he's going to be a nobody again. So Andrew Garfield comforted him. Then he said he always thought that there will be a black Spider-Man. Okay, by the way, the reference. So actually, when he said black Spider-Man, that reference he made is talking about Miles Morales. Yeah. So during that show, Cooper before the when NJ fell, who saved her? People wonder. If Tom Holland couldn't save her, the Tom Holland Spider-Man, which Spider-Man saved her? The Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield. And in that moment, when he saved her, he realized he could have done the same to Gwen Stacy. He could have saved Gwen Stacy. He knew at that very moment, he knew what he was supposed to do. So after that, after all the various fights already, all the villains killed, there's one villain, Green Goblin. This fight lasted, lasted quite a while because the Tom Holland versus uh, the Tom Holland Peter Parker versus the William Dafoe Norman Osborn Green Goblin. But it was a very good fight. Andrew Garfield, Andrew, this, the other two Peter Parker saw this. Then the one from the Goblin was came and stopped him when he wanted to kill Green Goblin. Yeah, but actually Green Goblin stabbed him in the back. So the others Peter Parker, the Amazing Spider-Man Peter Parker, the Peter Parker and Stacy's Peter Parker, the Andrew, I call him Andrew Garfield Peter Parker, threw the cure to the Tom Holland Peter Parker, and Tom Holland Peter Parker cured our Norman Osborn Green Goblin. So he was no more Green Goblin. By the way, we didn't see this Peter Parker, there's the Tobey Maguire Parker. Then our Tom Holland set everything right, told Doctor Strange that he wants to everybody to forget who was Spider-Man, everything. So in the story after that, everybody forget. Then he goes in the end, all the characters, the villains will disappear. Then no one. So he also goes and visits his aunt grave. He meets Happy. I don't know him. He be telling Happy the first encounter. Then there he goes to the donut shop and introduce himself to MJ that he's Peter Parker and all that kind of stuff. Then he gets back the apartment, the apartment which they were living in, with he and his aunt was living in. So from there he starts new. He sees the new Spider-Man suit. You see a new Spider-Man suit. Then they show. Then he goes out swinging. There and okay, we didn't see much about that suit. Okay, so that's all I can say about that. That's a post credit. I don't know whether I don't know about the post credit scene, the random one talking, but I hope you enjoyed my spoiler review. So, and I'll see you again soon.